Hello, hello. Welcome, you beautiful people. Welcome back to the Tflip Show, episode 3. Now, listen, we got a great show coming up. I mean, let me start by telling you, we are now going from not only bi-weekly episodes, we are now going to weekly episodes. If you want to catch us live on Twitch, so you don't got to wait for it to get on either YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Spotify Podcasts, catch Shane and I live on Twitch, Tflip16 on Twitch, 6 p.m. PST every single Wednesday from here on out. Whether it's just Shane and I or we got a guest like you're going to see here in this episode coming up. It is nothing but content around here, and I am so excited for this journey. This is only the start. So let me know what you guys think. Be a friend, tell a friend. You know what I'm saying? You know, if you enjoy the show, why don't you tell your mom, tell your dad, you know. As always, thank you guys so much for watching. With all that being said, thank you guys so much. Enjoy the show.
Perfect.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Tflip Show, episode 3. As usual, we have tech issues, but you know, we figured it out. It's all part of the roller coaster.
We're here. We're ready to talk. It's all that matters.
By episode 50, this is going to be like smooth sailing.
No.
Give us
a
a
year.
Cadillac.
Give us a year.
No, it's not.
We're gonna have
What do you know?
8K cameras.
You're gonna have a problem.
We're gonna have LED lights. Everyone's gonna be
Hey,
crazy.
do you see these? You got some
Yes,
LED
we got
color
some
lights
nice
in back, little
backlights.
backdrop.
Anyways,
Backdrop light.
welcome back to the show.
Aw.
Today, obviously, Tyler and I are here. We are joined by our special guest, Molly.
Woo!
Molly.
Let's go.
Friend of
Quick
ours.
clap it up for
Everybody.
Momo Flow.
Friend of ours for a long time. We went to high school with her. Just 3 fun facts about her. She's a Scooby-Doo addict, has multiple wiener dogs, and was voted prom queen our senior year.
Prom Queen.
Prom queen, the
And
old PQ.
I'm going to make a quick shout out too. She
My
just.
mom already said in chat, love the PQ.
Oh, that's
The
her.
PQ.
Okay. I didn't know your
Mom's
name.
obsessed. So,
And
ladies
real quick
gentlemen,
shout out. She does stream on Twitch too.
She
She's
does.
a newfound streamer. She's getting a little discouraged. She's just complaining how streaming sucks. Is
It
that
does.
is the
It
quote?
sucks.
It's hard to get started.
She listen. Hey, real quick. Follow Momo Flow on Twitch at the Mo_Mo Flow. What we laughing?
Mama Flow.
His mom's saying, "Does she have legs?"
I told her when we were doing sound checks.
Sorry,
She is
guys.
unfortunately went to
Okay.
a bad
She does have
accident.
legs.
She's a double
I was
amputee.
Hey,
saying-
think about that content. No, you should have gone with it. Should have gone with it. Give me some awesome
Okay,
story.
sorry. Let me put my legs back
Give
up.
me some awesome story how you lost your legs right now. You're not cut out for this. You can leave.
I didn't.
I think Shane and I
I'm
got
on
it.
Joe
from here.
Rogan. I'm on Tflip.
I don't know
Okay.
Anyway, so Molly, we invited you onto the show not because you're just a friend of ours and you're a good person, but because you're actually having a pretty interesting internship that's going to lead to a job here, and we want to
Hopefully.
hear some about
Hopefully.
it. Because truthfully, I don't know a whole lot about it.
Yeah. Okay. So, right now I have to graduate. I have to do an internship, and
You're on your final year at San Jose State, correct?
yeah, final semester. So I
That's huge.
got a,
Right?
a month and a half left.
It's a big life change coming your way.
Yes, huge.
I'm a 5th-year senior at Evergreen Valley College.
I went
That's
to college
pog.
for a
That's
year.
really cool.
Go Spartans! All right, anyways, continue.
What's called?
Okay, yeah. So I have to do an internship, and I pretty much lucked out with this guy this guy Robert Silva. He has his own agency. He's a private investigator, and I mean, he just has like an insane life story, and that's kind of what got me hooked in, was just because of how much he's done and how much he has experience in, and you know, he's taught us a ton. And that's another thing. There's only 2 of us, so like.
Oh,
We
it's
get-
just you and him?
It's me and one other.
Oh, so it's-
Yeah,
okay.
there's
So he's
3
a-
total.
Gotcha.
Of interns.
Right. No, 2
No.
interns and to him.
So that's the
So like we get to ask him questions like it's literally us 3.
Oh,
It's like
that's
this.
nice. That's super close.
Yeah.
So
It's-
prior to the interns, he's a one-man army.
Yes, but he always has interns. Like he gets.
Is he
them each
new?
year. No, he's been doing it for like 30
Oh, he has
years.
I see. He's
Yeah.
so.
Way to run a
I see.
company.
Yeah. Cheap.
Free
Yeah.
interns.
Yeah, that's cheap.
Very
That's cheap
cheap.
work.
Hey, it works, right? If you get good interns, that's
Actually,
just
wait,
free
pause.
labor.
Is it a paid
It's
internship?
not.
Oh my God, it is free
Yeah.
labor. It's literally
That's
free
right.
labor. Then
Talk about that.
I was gonna say not it, which I think is bullshit. I'm gonna get sidetracked
Yeah.
already.
I mean, that's fine.
I think internships at very minimum should get minimum wage at least.
Not. I don't
Like,
think. I could argue them not getting minimum wage because you're trading your time for knowledge.
Yeah. But
And
you're
I-
also working for. a
Oh yeah,
company.
and that's
You're-
why I agree.
you're
I think
adding
you should.
value.
I think you should still get paid
Yeah.
nonetheless.
100%.
So that's why I think it's bullshit. But I understand why you're not too upset about it because you're
Right.
getting cool experiences, learning
Right.
a lot.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
if
I
you're
get
having
it.
fun if you're having a good time, and obviously you're learning it, it's going to be huge for your career in the future.
For sure.
It's
I'm
not,
hoping.
You're not going, you have some sort of pay, right? Pay and knowledge and
Yeah.
a stepping stone, but
It would be cool, but
cash money would always be nice.
Sure, always is. So we got sidetracked. So
That's fine.
not a paid internship. It's
No.
you and 2 other interns and this guy, Mr. Silva.
yes, Mr. Silva.
So what's your like
Detective.
Detective?
Detective?
Sure. Well,
Detective Silva.
he doesn't call himself that. I don't really know.
What does his business card say?
Doesn't have one.
Doesn't have a business card. This guy's a fraud.
Doesn't need one.
This guy's a fraud. I don't think this guy's real.
He
gigs.
was.
This guy just throws it up on Craigslist. Hiring interns for free.
Listen, he was a lieutenant in the Coast Guard, so maybe he goes by Lieutenant Silva. Who knows?
Okay.
Well,
So-
Detective Momo Flow.
Yes.
What is your day to day like?
So
What's your role? Yeah, what do you guys do?
What do you do?
he loves to talk. So honestly, like I go in twice a week. I go in for 4 hours on Mondays and Wednesdays. And it really just depends. Like he has probably 25 cases right now, which is a lot for just a one-man team.
And these are live cases, right?
Yeah.
They're not just like...
Dude, you know, the first thing that really baffles me about the whole criminal justice system is that it's supposed to be speedy.
Mm-hmm.
He has cases that are like 7 years old.
Holy cow.
Like they
And what are these like murders
murders, yeah.
These
And
are murder
they're here,
cases.
and
These-
they're-
Are they all
that's
murders
what's
or like
crazy.
thefts or like is it a mixture?
He either
or-
does murders, homicides.
Yeah.
He either does homicides or he's done a few sexual
Murder.
cases, some drugs.
Sexual assault
Sorry,
cases.
yeah, sexual.
Did you say sex
I
cases?
said sexual cases.
Sexual assault cases. Okay.
He does some drugs, but that's kind of always intertwined with the murders and whatnot,
Yeah,
you know?
okay.
And then he has these new things that are called YOPs, which we don't really have to get into, but that's a lot of what he does now.
Just to... You don't have to get into it, but what is a YOP?
It is the Youth Offender Program. So basically, if you or me committed a crime when we were like 15, like a murder or something, you know, obviously you go to juvie, but he basically, if they get convicted, it's after they've already been convicted and they've served a portion of their sentence. He puts together a packet to give to a parole board and tries to get them out sooner because their brains aren't fully developed until you're 25.
Gotcha.
So it's basically like, you know, kids who are committing crimes because of their environment, because of their family, because of gangs.
How many cases does he have of those? Do you know?
That's like the majority right now. Like he has
Really?
20 probably. Just
Of it, is that tied into his 25?
yeah.
Okay,
Yeah, just
wow.
because they just passed the law like a year ago in California
They're
that
just super
allows it.
susceptible to things, very influenced.
Right.
Exactly. So
So...
it's kind of cool, you know. I like working on those. Like we've done a few interviews with him. Basically, like the packets include you interview family members or friends that the felon gives you, and you just like they kind of tell you what their life was like during that time. You know, if their dad was around, if they're more on drugs and
And
gangs.
this is usually like years prior.
Yeah. Because these people, like, there's a guy right now that we're working on. He's been in for like 30 years already, and he didn't even kill anyone.
But he was convicted when he was a kid?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. He's been in there for 28 years. He's convicted when he was 19, and he didn't kill
Convicted
anyone.
of murder?
No, he didn't kill anyone. It
I
was
know.
attempted murder.
Oh, attempted
Yeah, he's
murder,
convicted
okay.
of attempted murder. So,
I actually have a kid I went to middle school with.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not gonna name any names, but he just got out of prison. He was in prison for like I want to say 3 years on a murder charge that he didn't commit. And I was scrolling through Facebook the other day, and all caps, finally free or finally out or something like that.
And he
So I was
didn't do
looking
it.
into it. Yeah, and he didn't do it. It was his buddies basically did it and tried.
But he
him.
ran out his
That's
time
crazy.
there. Yeah.
No, he was like sentenced for like
A
good
long
portion,
time,
a good
but
portion.
after-
I don't know if it was live or 30 years or whatever,
Yeah.
but he was sentenced and he beat the case and got out.
After 3 years.
Yeah.
There's 3 years he was in jail
It took
trying to
him
beat
3
the
years
case.
to beat the case.
I see. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Interesting. That's
so
crazy.
that was something I just scrolled on Facebook and I was like, so I did a little research.
yeah, that's cool.
You know?
Good for him.
Mm-hmm.
So
But
so
yeah.
tell me more about the job. So okay, you're talking about like what you guys do. So
Yeah.
what do you guys do? Tell me more. What are you
So-
training
You guys
for?
like
What are you
going
learning?
out on like
Yeah.
to crime
Yeah,
scenes
we don't
and,
do
like,
as much, he said, just because of COVID, but luckily it's opening up. So we've been to the courthouse, we've been to the jail, we've tried to serve a few subpoenas to people who have to go to court. We actually did some, like scouting, investigating the other day. I was there on Monday. We were looking for this chick because she's dodging him, and he's trying to give her a subpoena to show up in court. And we went to like 2 of her known addresses and kind of looked around, asked around. It was kind of cool. And then, let's see, what else we do? like I said, we interview people for those YOP cases.
So do you do the interviewing firsthand?
It's on Zoom, but we're there.
Are you asking the questions, or are you just kind of taking?
He
notes?
asks
shadowing.
them.
You're
He asks
shadowing.
them. I'll write everything down. I'll type it up while he's talking, and then like if we think he's forgetting something, we can be like, hey, like ask about their brother, this type of thing. But it's not like he's doing most of it.
Yeah.
'Cause
Are you a fast typer?
I'm a pretty fast typer. I'm
Yeah.
pretty good.
I never
I
learned
already
that
know
in
Tyler's
school.
a freaking pecker.
I'm a pecker. I'm a pecker. I'm a quick pecker.
You can hear him.
I'm a quick pecker,
When he's-
but I'm a pecker.
Oh,
Yeah. Did you
wait,
learn that in middle school or something? When you were in
I
those
really
type?
don't know.
Did you guys have typing classes in elementary
I
school?
didn't have typing class in school, but my parents, I don't know if they like bought it or whatever, but it was a SpongeBob typing game to like learn how to type. It was SpongeBob themed.
I think I know what game you're talking
And
about.
there was like things where it's like you're going through a course and you have to type. It gets faster and
Yeah,
faster.
faster.
And you have to type.
I think I know what
But-
you're
I
talking
played that
about.
Asteroids
But and
version.
my mom would probably vouch for this if she's in chat. The SpongeBob character, obviously it was SpongeBob, right?
Sure.
Or maybe it was Squidward because the guy was a dick. As you're typing, he's just being an asshole. You suck. You're the worst typer ever. Like, dude, like straight up, dude, just like. Just
What are you,
freaking-
8?
Dude, just hitting me down, like sentence every single time I'm typing, right? And I started like crying,
Oh,
I don't know
gosh.
how old I was, right? But I was like upset, like being a dick.
You're telling me a virtual Squidward just like beat you into the ground. And you let
pounding me.
you let Squidward put you into the ground. Hey, wait, stop that. I'm pretty sure that's gaming.
That's right there.
That's gaming. That's not typing. That's
I'm
gaming.
here hitting spacebar with my thumbs and everything. I'm in there, and I just no matter how hard I try, I'm just getting yelled at, and I just broke down, and I called my mom in because my mom, she works.
You're like,
for-
I'm
She
done.
works on computers for a living, so she can type, faster than
Sure.
the Wicked Witch of the West. So I'm like, Mom,
I wish.
I'm like, Squidward's being mean. And my mom's like, all right, let me step in, right? So my mom,
Tell Squidward what's up.
my mom stepped into the 5th grade level typing class, and she just started going at it, but Squidward was still being a dick, so like, it didn't matter if you're doing good or bad.
So you guys cut off
He was
Wow,
Squidward.
well, that's just an awful program.
Yeah, I know.
That's
So that made me feel better. I'm like, okay, well, I'm probably suck at typing, but at least,
right.
he's
So
not-
answer the question: are you a pecker?
I'm not a pecker, but I'm not a fast typer. I type. I'm
You
not a
so
fast
you
typer.
have 4 fingers on the keyboard at
Yeah,
least.
I type.
Oh, sorry, 8.
I type.
2010.
Yeah, I type, but I don't peck by any means, but I'm just not like fast.
I'm a fast pecker. It's like this. It's like I can move quick. I'm all over that
I
keyboard.
could probably send an email on my phone faster than anyone could type an email on a computer.
I'm
I
finding
can
more and
type
more.
so fast. on my
I
phone.
hate
well.
I hate sending emails on my phone. You think it's convenient? You're
No,
mobile.
I like doing it on my computer too.
I
It's
feel like
just
I'm
easier.
messing up. It says sent from iPhone. It tells me.
You could delete it.
You can
Oh,
delete
really?
that.
I
It's just
delete it.
typing. It's
Oh.
just- yeah.
Yeah, you just
alright.
go, click to it.
Yeah, I mean, at work I send emails on my phone. I'm out like on the field or whatever, but
Sure.
if I can, if I have time, I go back to my office.
I don't like it. It stresses me out. Because then I find myself like you're subconscious in your head doing shorthand texting,
That is
typing.
tough.
And I feel like email, especially because with
Yeah,
work,
email,
more
I'm always, like,
professional.
proper and, like,
Yeah, exactly.
Thanks.
Yeah.
So much thanks.
Typing
Thank
out
you.
YOUR, not UR.
Hello all. Hope everyone is well
I
today.
am a big hello all.
Yeah.
No, what's
Complete,
cracking?
like if you take my normal day-to-day language and compare it to my emails, it's two completely
Oh,
different
of
people.
course. It has to be.
Yeah.
Who made that rule? Why is that a thing? If you think about it.
Emails. There's some people at work that I'm more casual with, like when it's just one-on-one emails. It's just a lot. It's like we're texting.
Sure,
not emails.
right.
So I don't have to say like good afternoon, like whatever. Like casual emails are so much better. I get it if you're doing like a company-wide thing.
Right.
Like,
Or an interview
yeah,
or
right.
something.
It's
Yeah.
like if I'm just emailing like, hey, like, well 32 needed to be repaired today. I'm ordering these parts. Like, why can't I just say that instead of like, good afternoon? Today I was out on the field.
Exactly. That's what my
like
point
a whole
is.
like essay introductory, and it's like, dude, just let me type the email.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it makes you look good.
Yeah, I guess.
Shane, my Erica, I'm fine. Yeah, it's probably just because it's multiple mics. It's gonna happen. His mic's loud, so. But anyway, so we got sidetracked from talking about Molly and her job. So she's a fast typer. So that's my fault. I got
The tangents
Oh,
be
die,
going.
dog.
You gotta
Sorry.
be fast type.
Guys.
You just went 10 minutes without talking
my
about
fault.
typing.
It's my fault.
Oh, gosh.
So do you have any cool stories hearing about the murder cases or anything like that? Have you like gotten in
Murder.
depth about
I
it? Or
mean-
sorry, homicide
Maybe no
cases.
names,
Our
but
first freaking day, this guy, he wanted to show us autopsy pictures just to like I don't know, jump us in or something. Like,
Spooky.
I guess.
So autopsy in the sense, just so I understand, it's dead bodies,
yes.
right?
Yeah.
So you've seen stab wounds,
Cold
gunshot
cold.
wounds.
Yes, and it's crazy. Like,
Yeah.
okay.
So you're looking
first-
at dead people.
Yes.
I've seen
And
CSI
they're
Miami.
from here. Like, first, the weirdest thing to me.
Did you know anyone?
No. The weirdest thing to me is like, oh, this was found on Hicks Road. I was
Makes
like,
sense.
we go there all like, okay, not anymore.
Well,
We
probably
used
in
to go
high
there
school.
all the
It's
time.
the albinos on
And
this
like,
road.
there's pictures of them at the scene, like lifting a body up from like the river and stuff. And I'm like, wow, I probably drove past that like.
Was it a car crash? Do you know cause
No,
of death?
No, it's
someone.
murder?
Yeah, someone
This
Dumped
axed
the
this guy
body?
in the head. Yeah.
Really?
I'm not even trying.
Oh,
Murder,
wow.
axe
Yeah.
murder on
And
Hitch
then
Road.
we're
You
looking
heard
at
it here,
these
folks.
autopsy pictures, and like, I don't know if any. No, you probably don't know this, but for some reason they have to peel back the face to look at the skull to see if there's any
Oh my
like
That makes sense.
to
God.
see if there's like any fractures.
You just
or
got a
damage.
gasp from Emmy over here,
Yeah.
behind camera
Yeah.
over here.
And so that first day, he's over here. He's like, okay, click, click, and he's like eating chips. And I was like, we're sitting there like
Appetizing.
horrified, and he's all like,
Face is
he's-
just on the table.
yeah.
He goes, hey, by the way, forget the guy's face off the
Yeah.
head.
And he looks at
What
me
do you guys
like,
want for lunch?
Sorry guys, is this okay with you guys? And he just
On
keeps
day,
clicking.
so this is day one. He's showing you
Day one, and it was just crazy.
no
like,
warning.
No
Like
warning.
he didn't tell you what you were about to see.
No, he said we were gonna look at an autopsy. I'm like, okay, fine.
Yeah.
Tell me you're gonna do the clean body on like
Yeah,
the
on
silver
slab.
cart.
Yeah.
Yeah, on the
Uh,
slab.
I don't
That's
know.
crazy.
Yeah.
So-
So.
It's so interesting though. I would love to know more.
So when was it? What was the date on this? Of the axe guy? Is he gonna turn into a crime
I
junkie?
think that was
Wait.
like 2017. I think it was the year.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Whoa.
And he did it.
That was
to
a
two
graduation
people.
year.
Yeah.
2 people?
Yeah. One
Both?
of them survived, but he cut off his fingers.
Oh, this is
The
like,
victim got his fingers cut off.
Yeah, and he got hit in the head, but he survived. And then the second
But
guy.
did he get dumped in the creek like the other
No,
guy?
no, because he survived.
So like, what do you mean he survived? He got away?
Let her
Or?
tell
Yeah,
us.
yeah,
Let her
yeah.
she's gonna
Yeah,
tell a
yeah.
story.
Oh.
He got away. I don't know how. I don't know the full story, but he had two people that he attacked. Only one of them died, and they found the second one. And then the first victim came forward and like spoke in his trial. You know, like look at what he did to me. You can't tell me he didn't do that to the same guy. Like it's the same MO because he cut off those fingers too. If that makes sense.
That's like full on.
Like, it's like an
mur-
MO,
Serial
like-
murder
yeah,
killer.
exactly.
Well,
an
yeah,
MO.
borderline serial killer.
Yeah.
Maybe if you got that guy, that's considered a serial killer.
I
That's
mean, because could you possibly link that to previous murders?
right.
Look
maybe
at
murders they don't know about.
fingerless bodies.
Yeah, exactly.
That's
crazy,
insane.
though. You just
That's
find-
2017. That's a graduation year. For people that don't know, Hicks Road was like at our high school. That's a place to go. You know, drive your
It's
car
like
fast.
2 minutes
or-
from my house. Like
Yeah, no, it's not far at all. And then she said that murder was in 2017, which was our graduation year.
Yeah, I've been down I've hiked down to that creek before.
Yeah.
Like, I could have easily just stumbled across
And
the
they're
body.
just pulling up bodies. Like, it's crazy to me. I don't know. And so it's cool. It's the autopsy ones are like I almost am already desensitized to. Speaking of what Kelsa said, like it doesn't bother me really anymore. But like there was one where a pregnant lady got stabbed in the neck, and it was like right over. It was right over on Story. It was on Story at the Carl's Jr.
Oh,
sounds about right.
Like-
Story
King
Road.
and Story, you know?
Like it's just
Yeah.
so crazy that it's right here.
Sure. Well, murders happen everywhere. Sad
know,
enough.
I
I wish
know,
it
I know.
doesn't.
Someone's
but-
probably getting stabbed right now.
So
Yeah.
All right.
I know the answer to it, but just so we can interact with the chat, Shane. Shane's mom asked, "What degree are you going for?" I know the answer, but just for chat to know.
I am majoring in justice studies, and so my graduation announcements have it labeled as criminology, and then
What's? Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, and then I'm minoring in psychology too.
So then to tie into that, what's your dream job? Like best case scenario, where do you want to go with this degree? You're doing this internship, it's cool.
Yeah.
Brooklyn
Like
Nine-Nine.
knowing you, this doesn't sound like you as
No,
like
no,
you
no.
don't want to go to these crime scenes, taking these pictures. And
No, that's not my
it's a
goal.
great job, and hey, if you get that job, come back on the show. Tell me some cool stories.
No, no, I don't want.
What do you
that
want to
job.
do career-wise?
I want to eventually join some federal agency, preferably ATF, because I want to work with canine units, and I want to, I don't want to train them per se. I want to be assigned one, and then I want to, either whether that be a cadaver dog, a drug dog, bomb dog, anything.
So you want to be like kind of tied into the TSA. You want to be out there sniffing
I
suitcases.
don't want to be TSA.
Why?
because
TSA does not sound like the
that's
dream job.
lame.
You guys know that meme? That guy. It looks like in the UK, he's swiping people for the stadium. He goes like this, and just like he's barely doing anything. He's just like go through. That's Molly. She's got a dog.
No.
I was laughing because I could just picture Molly just with like 5 bomb-sniffing wiener dogs.
Wiener dogs.
Wearing bulletproof vests.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
dogs are.
Hey, they're perfect. They can get all the undercarriages of the cars.
They
That's
can
funny.
sniff out.
Yeah,
underneath.
exactly.
I think Bernie would do great,
He would.
particularly.
He really
He's
would.
very
Yeah.
energetic too.
Yeah.
We'll get into
That's one of Molly's dogs,
Yes.
by the way.
You guys should go check them out.
So okay, so I kind of interrupt you. So not TSA. So like, if you could choose though, let's say you want to do something with the ATF. Like, if you could choose, what specifically?
I want to join ATF, and I want to be a dog handler,
And
a
so like,
canine handler.
so right, I understand that. So what would you want your assignment to be?
Oh.
You said not TSA. You don't want to be in
Yeah, what
TSA bombs.
location?
Well,
Right.
they go everywhere. Like ATF is its own agency, but they assist around the entire country.
So enlighten me. I don't know enough about it. So what is I almost said TSA. What does ATF do?
So alcohol, tobacco, firearms for anyone that doesn't know. Basically, they deal with, if San Jose has a ton of drugs that just came in, I don't know, in some shipment, or they know it's coming in on a ship in the San Francisco port. Like, they'll send ATF, and they'll go bring their dogs with them to go sniff out some drugs that are in a cargo container. I don't know, like something like that, like it's not, I'm never going to be really in the same place unless it's at like home base.
Most likely within the state of California, right?
I don't know. I mean, they're...
Why? Unless you're the big dog and they're like, hey, we need Molly in Florida now. Some Florida dude.
That's what I hope, but you have to go to like Virginia and like East Coast for all the training and stuff.
Yeah.
So.
They need the big dog with the little dog. You got wiener dogs that are gonna do the bomb sniffing. Big dog with the little dogs.
Yeah.
Well, that's good. That's really cool, Molly.
Yeah.
I think that's
hope it
really neat.
works out.
Considering it's I've known you as long as I have, I haven't really like heard in depth about this because it's still fairly new
Yeah.
too, right?
Yeah.
So
No, it definitely sounds like a good job. It sounds like you're super interested, so I hope it works out.
yeah,
But,
it's neat.
To segment off of that, you mentioned cargo ship. I'm sure everyone's heard of the Evergreen giant cargo ship that blocked the Suez Canal.
Was it Evergreen? I just knew about the ship that
Yeah.
blocked the canal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's
How much of a dumbass do you got to be to like mess that
Well,
up?
that's the thing, though. Was it on accident?
So you got a conspiracy
Listen.
theory.
Hey, bro, there's no shaft, right?
I saw something. It said, I told Justin.
I saw a lot of memes. I didn't look at. I just looked at all the memes.
No, apparently it blocked like $8 billion worth of like
Yeah.
goods per
So-
day.
So
that it was
that
blocked.
that ship can hold, just this ship that got stuck
Yeah.
can hold over 2,000 Connex containers, which each one can hold like 20,000 pounds of stuff.
Mhm.
Like, we're talking like hundreds and hundreds of millions of pounds
Right.
of things that need to be shipped out, and that's just the one ship.
Right.
There's those
80
ships,
more it's
there's
blocking.
freaking 40 of those ships
Yeah.
coming out of, I don't know about 40, but
Right, right.
they come out every single day, and it was like blocked for 3 weeks. So yeah, you said $8 billion. That doesn't blow. I know. I wouldn't be surprised if it was more, to be honest. But looking at this thing stuck, right? First
It
of
was
all,
stuck stuff.
yeah, these guys are professionals. There's no way that was an accident. I just feel like there couldn't.
Well, that's kind of was my point. I haven't looked into the conspiracy theory aspect of it much, but more so like you can't
It's a
be just
straight
Bob
canal.
Joe saying, "Hey,
Yeah.
I want to drive a cargo ship. Can I drive a cargo ship? Let me drive the boat."
It's a-
And then you mess it up that
it's a
bad.
straight canal.
Yeah,
There's
it's
no-
a straight
not like
shot.
It's a swervy canal. Where you take the turn too
Maybe the
sharp.
wind.
Nah, no
the wind,
shot.
The wind blew a 700 million pound boat.
You gotta go to
Aside.
so much school for
And
that.
Okay, but
Yeah.
okay, so this thing's stuck, right? Whatever accident, purpose, whatever, right? This thing's stuck.
20,000 containers, by the way, your dad
Oh,
just
is it
said.
20,000?
20,000
I
containers on
thought it
that
was
ship.
2,000. Okay, that's even so. That's crazy.
Yeah. No, add another zero. One more zero.
Yeah, no. So it's insane. But this thing's stuck. It looks like it's shoved maybe 30 feet into the.
It's into the shore,
It's into the
heavy
shore.
Was it?
duty.
I didn't see
But-
like close-ups. I
No,
only
it was
saw
in
aerial.
there.
So
Okay.
it's
It was in there.
It's in there, but
But
maybe it didn't start like that though.
but
Maybe
think
it
about
just
how
took
heavy
it,
it is.
And then all
it's
the
so
tides
heavy, right? Right? Okay,
forced.
sure. It's so heavy, but the effort they put in to get that thing out, from what it
They
looks
They had
like.
like 8 tugboats.
No.
They had so many
From what
tugboats.
it looks like, they had tugboats, but on shore they had one excavator and one front loader.
Yeah, because what's the shore gonna do? Tugboat. That's a tugboat's job.
I know, but
they had one side pushing, one side pulling, and they couldn't figure it out.
They could get in there, like they were digging the bow out, right? Like they need to dig it out.
But like, think about how much they gotta dig. Like, I think the tugboats were a better
I
shot.
don't know, bro. I saw the one meme. It was like all you need is a couple like Dodge Ram and like it was like Dodge Fords and Chevys up there, and just do a little tug of war, and they'll get it out. But like. Dude, I feel like there's some truth. I just feel like they didn't.
As far as the economic side of it, I mean,
Yeah,
I've
like-
said it before. As far as the government and the economy, there's always something going
Like,
on.
yeah.
It's never a straight shooter. But what do you got?
I was going to say, this is in line with conspiracy theories, and it's one of the things I wanted to talk about tonight. And it kind of ties back with my internship, if we're done with this. Or were we
I just
done
had
with this?
one more thing.
Okay,
More or
go
less.
for it. Yeah, go for the one
If
thing.
I think my ideal, if they were to hire me to Shane, get this boat unstuck.
Right.
My first thing, obviously tugboats. Yes, get as many tugboats as you can in the water. But
Get some more diggers.
get some more diggers. But I don't care how many boats you have in the water. How much traction does a one-prop boat have or a two-prop boat have, right? Get a freaking daisy chain line of D12 dozers on the other side of the
Get over
canal.
yourself. Get over
He's
yourself.
supposed to be one of those
Yeah,
tractors.
you want to
How
get
much
your
traction
goddamn
does
daisy
big
chains
ass
over here and pull that boat.
Get a couple
This ain't a
dozers.
2018 Mastercraft, buddy. You're talking about tons upon tons
I know.
of a cargo ship.
You get 20 dozers on the other side, that thing's moving. Right?
Yeah, I don't buy it. I think you're wrong.
They got it out.
So wrong.
I
Because
don't actually know how they got it out.
how long did it take?
It said
It was like
that
3
it was
weeks.
the tugboats, and just they timed it with high tide.
Yeah, I
That
mean,
was it.
high tide is definitely we gotta wait
Sure.
for.
Yeah.
But I think it was about 3 weeks.
3 weeks.
3 weeks.
That's a
It-
long
and by the way, it was
time.
like almost 2 weeks before any of us.
And the
were
Suez
but-
Canal, like
I was gonna say, why was it so late?
I can't tell you geographically where the Suez Canal is, but the point is that I know of it, so it has to be a well-used canal as far
History,
as.
I mean, taught us all about it.
Yeah, I mean, but do I pay attention to school? Not really. That's why I'm a fifth-year senior at Evergreen Valley College. So,
We've been over this.
Anyways.
so there you have it.
Yeah, so Molly, you were saying you had another conspiracy.
Yeah,
theory
so
you
let's
wanted
hear
to
it,
talk about.
and that's great because I actually have some things to talk about
Great.
as well.
Well,
That.
yeah.
So yeah. So go ahead.
Okay.
I love conspiracy theories.
So this-
Justin's got some good ones. Your boyfriend.
He doesn't. He has really bad ones.
Shout
No
out Jay
offense.
Dilling
Yeah,
11.
no offense, Jay Dilling 11. Okay, so this actually isn't a conspiracy. It's full-on fact. But the CIA, I'm just going to say it bluntly, the CIA actually introduced the crack cocaine epidemic in the United States. And they did it on purpose
Regarding what? What do you
to
mean?
make money.
So they brought cocaine in the U.S.
They
more or less is what you're
funded
saying.
the creation of crack, and
Whoa! Whoa!
This is fact.
Hang on,
This
that's
is-
a heavy hitter, Molly.
Listen,
I
they-
don't believe it. Government's
You
bunch of shit
you
bags.
didn't dip your toe in it. You went for the jugular, just like
I told
oh.
you I was going
You're
blind.
telling me, okay.
Okay.
So hang on. CIA introduced crack to the United States
Yes.
for money.
A man in Oakland created it. They hired him.
created crack.
Yes, not
Man
kidding.
in Oakland.
Not kidding.
Jay Dilling said it's 1,000% a fact. There's
Yes,
a
there's
movie
a movie.
about it.
So they hired the man, and he obviously, he had his resource, whatever. They gave him more resources. He made tons. They shipped it in to the U.S., and they created the crack epidemic in the U.S. to make money because they wanted to fund the Vietnam War, and Congress didn't agree to let Reagan fund the war, if that makes sense. And so, I mean, that's just a bombshell on its own.
They
And they-
found a little loophole.
It's
Right.
money laundering.
Pretty
That's
much.
money. It's a money laundering.
Because they knew drugs were going to come in anyway from
Might as
South
well be
America
in
and stuff.
charge of it.
Might as well be in charge
No
of
better
it,
guarantee
control
to
it,
let
and make the
drugs
money
in the-
yourself.
Yeah, there's no better way of getting drugs in the country is the country doing it.
Yeah, and what's crazy is that my mindset is first hearing that I'm like, holy shit, that's ridiculous. How could they do that to their own people? But then when it's crazy that we can shift our mindset to kind of agree with the fact that they would have been here anyway, why not make money off of it? Which is so sad because I don't want to think that way.
Capitalism, baby.
I don't
come
want to
on.
think that way, and but I understand where it's coming from.
So you saw my reaction off initial. I
Yeah.
thought that was gnarly for you to say that.
Yeah.
But
sorry,
then just
guys.
explaining it, I have never heard of that, never done research, so I can't really form an opinion or make an argument against it.
Uh-huh.
But you're talking about how can they do that? I mean, that's the government. It's just
But
what
isn't
they
that
do.
crazy?
It's kind of what you're
Because
saying.
here's-
Well, all my friends are doing it. I might as well do it too. Or your mom's like,
Yeah.
oh, if your friends jump off a bridge, are you gonna do it too?
It comes down to money. Because here's the thing: is
Well,
Everything
and-
comes
here's
down
my
to
problem. Here's my problem. You talk about. I just have one piece to say because you talk about how can they do that? United States. How can they do that? I am grateful and proud for where I live. I'll start. My grandfather served in the military. I am all about the United States, but the United States is so quick to talk about how we're the best in the world.
Mm-hmm.
North Korea, shit. China, corrupt. Russia, corrupt.
Yeah.
We are just as corrupt, if not more.
Yeah.
It's just it's what they show you.
Right.
When it comes to the media or just what they're telling you, whatever it is. I won't get into depth about it, arguing because that's a whole nother tangent you could go on about, and I'm not going to be some nut job conspiracy theorist about it.
Mm-hmm.
But that's just that's how our world works.
I mean,
it's always you're on our team, we're better than the other team.
Right.
That's how it works. It works like that in sports. Yeah. It works like that in our day-to-day lives.
And that's what my internship dude told me. He was like, because he knew a lot of this. He was in the DIA, which is Defense Intelligence Agency, which is CIA but globally instead of just U.S. And so, he had like top secret clearance. He had those badges and shit. And there's just certain things. There are these conspiracies that literally have a time, like a tag on them that say you cannot release any information about this until 50 years from now.
Right, exactly.
And that was one of those things because it's actually a journalist from San Jose Mercury News that figured it out.
Really?
And they killed him, but I mean... Yeah.
That's how it goes. No,
that's how it goes. Literally,
journalism is crazy in our world,
It is.
and to be on the
so
United
careful.
States, careful and brave. Because if you want to break news, and they say, "Oh yeah, 50 years on the road, you could release this." Once that 50 years hit, of course, Joe Bob from Mercury News wants to release it,
now.
and then hey, you said something. See ya. Gone forever. Oh, died of a heart attack. So sorry. Hey, thoughts and prayers.
It was probably worth his life because he's like.
That's his biggest story ever.
Sure.
A good reporter, like. They care more about the story than like the paycheck. The story like comes with the story. Like they just want to get it out there. Like that's like their passion.
Sure.
It's so that guy was probably. I mean, realistically, he probably knew that he was gonna die. Like he knew like this is my death sentence, but like the world needs to know.
If we did our research, I'm sure all three of us could easily do our research and find about journalists who broke breaking news, groundbreaking news that I've never heard before, and then coincidentally, sadly enough, die weeks later.
Abel did a suicide. He was shot twice in the head.
Justin just said that, so obviously he said shot himself twice.
Yeah,
exactly.
I'm sorry. Also, bladed green teas. I'm sorry, I don't know who you are.
It's Ash. We like Ash around here.
Okay, Ash, cool.
What's up, Ash?
You said it's more sinister of a reason than just money, and you are so right because they labeled it. They were doing it to save troops' lives by funding the troops. Yet they were perfectly willing to kill the minorities that were being addicted to crack cocaine in their own country. So I'm sorry, but that's just fucked up. Like, no offense to troops, but you put your own life on the line, and I understand you need funding, but there's no reason to kill people at home just to fund those people who are in a war.
It's how it works. It's sinister. She's right. It's sinister.
Crazy.
But again, it comes down to money. What does it all come down to? Money. They need something to fund it, and they got to keep the people, quote unquote, pleased at home, who aren't doing the crack cocaine. And so, it's just how it works. It's messed up, but that's literally our society. That's our
Freedom
world.
Free, baby.
No, it's not. It's not.
It's just so crazy.
So
but that was it. That was all.
Exactly. To segue off conspiracy theories, I mean, we could go to a lighter conspiracy theory that I knew about. I'll start by telling you guys I knew about. I had heard about it, and I didn't go in depth. I was like, oh, that's just kind of weird. That's whatever. Did some research, and it's insane. So I'm gonna start by asking you guys: have you heard in depth about the Simpsons conspiracy theories and their episodes dated way back early on of the show starting?
Other than like predicting
stuff.
I've seen stuff like that.
I've seen the coincidence.
I
haven't done research.
There's been a lot of
now,
I've seen like the one that stands out to me.
Well, don't even say it, because I got a whole list, buddy. I'm gonna go. I didn't do this research for nothing, so I'm gonna go on a whole tangent. Some of these things you may not have heard of, because there's ones like I said. I kind of knew the outside is.
Some ones I'm like, whoa.
Exactly.
Definitely mind blowing.
So check this out. This gets pretty gnarly. So.
Okay.
So it starts off, The Simpsons are just a downright good show. They're easily the most entertaining, longest going sitcom, animated sitcom.
How many episodes are there?
I couldn't even tell you.
7 million or something?
Okay, relax. But a lot. So listen, all right, we're going to go on a tangent here. I want you guys to listen to all this. It gets absolutely bonkers. This is out of order. But Lady Gaga suspended over. They got her in 2012, a 2012 episode. She's flying over this audience performing, sparklers coming out of her boobs, whatever, flying over. And then, no longer then, in 2017 Super Bowl LI, she has the exact same thing happen, where at a Super Bowl halftime show, she comes flying in all crazy, suspended over the crowd, drops in. Whatever, that's just like, what are the odds? Maybe she saw The Simpsons.
Yeah, I was going to say. Maybe
the episode was released in 2012. She performed in 2017.
Okay.
She could have made that happen.
That's one of the things, like, she could have easily just made
Right,
that happen.
right. I started with the lighter ones.
I know there's stuff that gets crazier.
Yeah.
Right. I started with the lighter ones that maybe just
So that one
coincidence.
could just be a coincidence.
Sure,
Or maybe
exactly.
Lady Gaga's like, hey, we gotta make this
Sure,
happen.
yeah, exactly.
Maybe she knows
We
about
gotta
all
make
the
this
other
happen.
conspiracy theories, and she's like, let's add on to it,
Okay, how about this? Here's a crazy one for you. How about in 2010, Nobel Peace Prize, right? Nobel Peace Prize is a massive award to win within our very
Probably
prestigious award.
The most prestigious award.
They don't just choose anyone.
Yeah.
In 2010, a 2010 episode, Milhouse predicts I think it's BENGTR Holmstrom wins the Nobel Peace Prize for economics. He actually split it with someone. I didn't get the name, but they split it.
People got it, yeah.
Right. They predicted that in 2010.
They had his
Sure
name.
enough, yes, the name. Sure enough, 6 years later, that man wins Nobel Peace Prize for economics. What are the odds you predict the person? There's a lot of people who can win the Nobel Peace Prize for a lot of different things.
Yeah.
And they predict the guy.
I mean, yeah, it's pretty slim odds. I mean, I'm sure they might have done the research, like, who's in the running, right? Like, who is really pushing the economic standpoint. But
There's one Nobel Peace Prize. You don't win it for this. There's one Nobel Peace Prize, and you won it because of that.
I'm going to agree with Ash here. It's not predicting. They're showing what's been planned in advance. I think they just have someone that knows.
Okay. All right. Well, let me get more in depth then.
Knows what's
Okay.
happening.
Listen. I got a lot more to go, so we could go off that because I don't disagree. I don't disagree. Okay. So we had the Nobel Peace Prize. Right? How about this is before our time. I think we were too young when this happened to remember it. How about Siegfried and Roy? Have you heard about those guys? They're
Yeah.
basically they're a circus act. There's two gentlemen who had a
Right.
pet tiger, and they would go across the United States and perform this tiger. And the tiger was like a dog, basically. They all said the tiger. People would say, "Oh, it's a tiger. They're gonna attack him sometime." And they said, "No. The tiger's like a dog. It never happened." They performed for years, right? And in a 1993 episode, the tiger in The Simpsons, 1993, the tiger turns against them and it attacks the guys. And no one thought of anything of it. Sure enough, 10 years later, 10 years, this is a tiger you guys are talking about. In 2003,
Probably
the
wasn't even
tiger
alive.
attacks Roy. Siegfried and Roy, the tiger attacks Roy. 2003, that's 10 years. You're talking about the rabbit hole thing they're playing ahead. It's a tiger. You're going to tell a tiger to attack someone?
Okay.
I don't know.
Yeah. No,
Right?
that's a good point.
So
yeah.
that's another crazy thing people forever said. Again, that was before our time. That was in 93 they were performing,
Mm-hmm.
No one said that, that's, it's going to happen. They didn't think so. How about this? 2008. We all know about voter fraud, right? It's to our modern time, especially in this previous election, one before that.
The last 3 elections, really.
It was a really big deal. Well, in a 2008 episode, Homer goes to vote for McCain or Obama. And when he goes in, it's an automated touchscreen machine. But this was one of the first years they had automated machines do it instead of writing in, mailing it in. Homer goes to vote for Obama, and it says, 1 vote for McCain. And he goes, what? No, I don't want to vote for McCain. Clicks again, 2 votes for McCain. This is in 2008. How about when in 2012 this actually happens, where there's video evidence, people doing this just thing, going to vote for Obama or Mitt Romney, and they go to click Obama, and it goes to Mitt Romney. This is the United States election. That's a whole different tangent. You could talk about the election and how it goes down.
Uh-huh.
But, again, that's multiple years later.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of predictable, though. The voter
Sure.
fraud has always been around, and it's just like now.
But with the automated machine, not just mail in extra ballots.
Yeah, but with technology.
Because like this most recent election,
When was
because
the
of the
episode?
pandemic, we're mailing
When
it
was
in.
the episode?
2008, and
The
this happened in
episode was
2012.
2008 after the original Obama election. That's when Obama got elected the first time.
The first time
I'm sure
against McCain,
Was
correct?
it automated then? Probably.
No, maybe, but not to the extent that it
Yeah.
was talked about.
I mean, that's just like.
When the
don't know.
voter fraud really came like present was in 2012 when this happened, when it broke news saying that there's evidence that people were clicking Obama and it would go to Mitt Romney, stuff like that.
And count. Would it count?
And count. It'd count them. Exactly.
I could see that one being predictable.
Okay, so whatever. Fine, fair enough. Another just interesting one. This one, again, it might be just coincidence. It might be not hard to predict. How about FaceTime? They predicted actual, not just, on a TV screen or anything, on your phone. They said that we would eventually be FaceTiming us one-to-one in a virtual reality, if you will, in 1995. FaceTime releases in 2010 through Apple, where we're talking through our phones. Not Skype through our computers, but our phones. A little coincidence, yeah, it might be a matter of time to tie in with that
I'm
one.
still waiting for flying cars, so.
True.
Yeah, they're a little behind on that
I
one.
forgot what I was watching. There's something I was watching that said that we'd be flying cars by now, something like that. I forgot exactly what it was.
Every old movie ever.
Yeah, I don't know.
In 2000, we're gonna have flying cars. In 2021, and we're
To tie in
Flying cars.
to tie in with that same episode, again, might be just another coincidence. They in the 1995 episode, they had what was kind of like a James Bond's watch, where he was talking to people on his watch on his phone, sending messages and going off. At the time, that's like bizarre. 2015, that first Apple Watch releases, where smartwatches became a thing. Again, could be just another coincidence, a matter of time with
that's also
technology.
like just a James Bond thing, though.
Sure, but at the time,
Just
it
better
was unfathomable.
Because James Bond also has freaking watches that shoot lasers.
Well, that's what I'm saying. But at the time, it's unfathomable. Like, how's that even possible?
Yeah.
Okay, this is where it gets weird. If you haven't looked this up, guys, I highly recommend looking up. I wish I could pull up the video, but it'd take too long. The Trump election. They predicted the Trump election in a 2000 episode where Trump runs for president and gets elected. You have to keep in mind, a lot of people already know, but if you don't, Trump was just a celebrity before he was a president. He was nothing more than a TV, he was a businessman. Exactly.
He did joke and mention multiple times throughout his career, like, oh, I'm gonna run for president.
Exactly,
I'm
but
sure
it never came
everyone
into
kinda
fruition.
just dusted it off.
Well, they joked about it in 2000, and in 2016, as we all know, he got elected. And on top of that, what you might be mentioning, there's I talk about it's scary how accurate it is. There's a specific
This is what I was
clip
talking about,
from
yeah.
the episode where they have Trump, and again, this is in The Simpsons. He's in a mall at one of his rallies or whatever when he's running, where he steps on an escalator. On the top row of the second story, above the escalator, Trump is going down. There's signs, right? People are waving, and then Trump makes a specific gesture where he first goes with his right hand, I believe it is, waves, then pans to his left, and waves with his left hand. This is in 2016. 2000. That episode represented that scene, right, of Trump. In 2016, sure enough, Trump has a rally in a mall, and there are signs and people in the exact same spots as the Simpson episode. And Trump does the exact same gestures to a cue.
Yeah,
to a
That's the
cue.
one I was talking about. That one's pretty mind-blowing.
Okay, I haven't seen that, but that sounds like
It's-
that's crazy.
It's literally, like, dead on.
Now, my debunking of this whole Trump thing being, the whole electing, like he's going to be president, apparently, I know it was released that Russia admitted they, have certain people that they groom and, try to get into our high positions to get to be president so they can control them. So
correct.
how do we, okay, maybe someone knew this in 2000 and was like, oh, they're grooming Trump.
But you're
Let's
gonna
pretend like he's going to be president. Okay, the weird
You're telling me they're going to tie it in with The
No,
Simpsons?
no,
Oh, while you're at it, hey, let's tie it up with The Simpsons in
That's
2000.
not what I'm saying.
For
But
it to be so spot on, the
Yeah.
only way it could have been spot
I'm pulling
on.
up the clip. I have to.
yeah.
the
Okay, I want to see
yeah,
this
I'll
one.
talk as he's pulling it up. The only way it could be so spot on is if someone who has enough rank in the government to persuade this entire setup, who's a big enough fan of The Simpsons, can convince everybody else that we need to set everything up exactly like this just to trip people out based off the Simpson episode
Yeah.
16 years ago. You're about to see it right now. It's insane. It's
I do
dead
wanna see
ringing.
this.
This is the one I was talking about that Tyler stopped me in.
A similar one, the storm of the Capitol that just happened.
Mm-hmm.
Did you see the one where there's a guy in The Simpsons wearing that same hat, the one with the
Yes,
horns,
yeah.
and a chest painting, and there was an exact picture of the same guy dressed up.
This is the clip we're talking about.
Arrives on his own chopper.
Insane,
He
right? So you got
arrives
Trump
on
flying
his
in,
own
whatever.
plane.
They're going to show a
This
comparison,
was
right? So
perhaps
here's real
Donald
life.
Trump's
Yeah.
most
Pay attention to the people in the
celebrated
background
arrival.
where the signs are. Watch Trump. First his right hand waves,
Escalated
and then
himself
pauses,
into the
thumbs up.
presidential
Okay,
race.
this is in
It's the most
2016,
momentous
2015, and right hand
announcement you
again,
can
right?
make in your entire
I don't know why we
career.
got
You're like,
Conan
I wanna
over here. I
commute
don't
on
know
an
what he's talking about.
escalator.
We can't hear what you guys are
Only
hearing.
losers
They're going
walk.
to show the Simpsons.
Presidents take Stair Force One.
There you go.
10-minute loop.
You Here it comes. Watch this.
Even Homer Simpson
Right hand,
rode the
thumbs
escalator
up.
behind Trump,
And the sign falls in the back, by the way. I don't know if you caught that. The
Sucked
sign
Homer
falls in
into
real
his
life.
scalp,
Here,
Trump.
restart it. They show the original clip.
Even
Yeah,
Homer
go back another 10
Simpson
seconds.
was Donald
No,
Trump's
go right there. They
most
showed it right before
celebrated
the
arrival.
Simpsons clip. They show it back to back.
Plane. Trump's most
Yeah.
celebrated arrival.
Yeah, right there. Okay, watch.
Someone
watch.
added
He's waving.
elevator music
That
to the
sign
escalator
falls. That
video
sign
and
was
made a
being held
10-minute
and it
loop.
fell. Yeah, that sign falls.
Even
and then
Homer
watch the paid
Simpson
sign.
rode the escalator behind
sorry, the
Trump,
left sign.
whose
Yeah.
hair.
I didn't even know that.
Yeah.
So guys, do you see what we're saying?
And it has Melania in front. Like,
Guys,
that one is mind blowing.
that one is insane. So keep in mind, that was in 2000, I think that episode is. And that's in 2016 that Trump runs for presidency and that rally happens. Like, I don't know what other argument you can make.
Yeah, the
Against
only
that.
argument is you convince everybody there's a paid actor. At this mark, you drop the sign. Trump, you had to get Trump to do the thumbs up wave
Yeah,
thing.
I'm saying
Melania to
no
look the way
way.
she's doing. The signs, like, there's so much coordination. And, granted, it could be done, but why would the government care so much
Yeah.
to get that done?
Exactly?
Yeah.
Emmy says, "What's the point?"
Yeah.
There's no shot.
Why would they
I think
fuel
I
that?
think the I have more to go here, but since we're getting so in depth about it, I should have saved that one for last. Matt Groening's a time traveler.
Who?
Matt Groening. He's the producer, artist, creator of the Simpsons.
Sorry,
I think
I
it's
didn't know
Matt
his name.
Groening. I think that's his name. He's a time traveler. But we're gonna go a little bit further. I should have saved that one because that one's bizarre. I'm glad we pulled up that clip. I found it fascinating. I thought. NSA snooping. In 2007, Simpsons make a joke about it, about the NSA looking into every little thing we do. And I think Marge is talking to Lisa saying, like, it's not like the government's listening to us. And then this, like, bus driver all of a sudden sits up and, like, he has robot eyes and his ear pops out, right? That's in 2007. Sure enough, in 2013, it breaks out that the NSA is listening and looking at every single little thing we do. Like right now, probably just mention the word
they're
NSA,
listening to
my
everything.
phone just lights up.
That's where they have those memes. It's like my FBI agent watching.
Exactly,
yeah.
because it's true.
It's so true.
Yeah,
It's
I mean,
true.
maybe not 24/7, but at any time, someone could definitely be listening.
Apple has a deal with the government. I'm sure Apple
Yeah,
partners
well,
with the
Facebook.
NSA.
Facebook
Facebook,
is one
yeah.
of the biggest things,
Exactly.
like the Target ads and everything like that.
So-
like, I've literally
Instagram.
tested it. Like, I've like talked about,
I want a surfboard.
I want Panda Express tomorrow. For
Hey, I'm with the majority of you guys. We will get there. I'm gonna finish up with the
No
Simpsons.
shot.
We'll get there. We'll finish up the Simpsons. I'm almost done. I'm sorry. It's because that's how in depth this shit is. Like I was blown away. I had to write this all down. Okay. How about this? This is another crazy one. Shane, you're a huge fan of what's that show with the movie with Matt Damon? You love Good Will Hunting.
Good Will Hunting.
Good Will Hunting.
By far.
What does
my
Matt
favorite.
Damon do on the chalkboard when he goes up there? This guy's a janitor. What's the biggest thing he writes?
Oh,
he writes what?
Well, he does the math
He
problem.
figures out the God particle.
the God particle, which is like the most
Which-
insane math
And
problem.
in the movie, do they actually show the God particle? No, because at the time, no one knew what the God particle actual equation was, right? Okay. Well, mentioning the God particle, in 1998, Homer Simpson becomes this genius and is on the chalkboard trying to figure out an equation for whatever he's doing. I forgot exactly what it was, and he is doing the God particle. He jokes about it in 1998, writes it up, gets the answer. Sure enough, when the God particle answer is discovered in 2012, Homer Simpson gets it right to the Q.
And
There's
this
a
is
book
the actual
written about
answer.
this.
So it was on the.
The TV show. The God particle was discovered in 1998 by Matt Groening.
Stop.
Swear to God.
No.
Matt
I swear to
Damon.
you.
There had to be something.
Dude, look this up. So, because in Good Will Hunting, they don't actually show it because, well, maybe they did. It
What
just
year
looks like
was-
opens
what
it.
year was that? Was early on.
1998. Is that what you said?
That episode was in 1998, and the God particle was
episode.
the Simpsons
I
episode.
was curious on Good Will Hunting.
I don't know. That's beyond me. I just know in Good Will Hunting, that's what I think of, and that's what Matt Damon's doing in that movie.
Such a great movie. You watched it, right? Tyler?
I haven't yet.
Chat. What is this guy doing? I genuinely think it's like my favorite. It's such a good movie. The bar scene, the
it's
whole
been
bar
a-
scene just freaking gets me going.
It's been way
man.
too long since
I've
I've
seen
seen
clips. I know what you're
love
talking about.
it.
So, anyways, that one's another bizarre one with the Trump clip. That's another bizarre one. Like, how does a cartoon producer basically
Yeah.
figure out? They showed the whole equation. Every little aspect of the equation was right in 1998, and you're telling me that we figure out what the equation answers in
14 years later.
2012?
With, I'm sure, like crazy computer technology to help figure it
That's
out.
insane. There's a whole book about this. Look it up. I think it's called The Simpsons and the producers behind the Insane Math. So it has some funky title where there's a book written about this. I don't know the book, didn't read it, but I did more research on that because that one took me away.
Yeah.
So, okay, only a few more. Another one's a smaller one where there's a coincidence. Maybe there's a lead on about it because I didn't know about this. But in 2012, out of all the countries they could choose, The Simpsons made a joke about Greece going into a debt crisis, the whole country going into a massive debt crisis. They made a joke about it in 2012, and out of all the countries they could choose, they chose Greece. Sure enough, in 2015, Greece goes into a massive debt crisis.
3 years later. Yeah.
3 years later. That could be a coincidence. Who knows? Maybe there's, I don't know, because
Maybe there could have been some foretelling in that, but
couldn't tell you exactly. And then how about another one? Here, in 1998, they show a clip on the TV screen of, in the show, that Disney buys out Fox. At the time in 1998, Fox was a massive production company where they did movies, TV shows. Fox was the man, basically. And to say that Disney was going to buy them out, they said, no shot. Disney's for kids, this and that. There's no way that ever happens. Fox is too big. Sure enough, 2017, as of recent, I remember this when this happened and got announced, Disney bought out Fox. And that's 98 to 2017, That's
now,
huge.
Disney
Sure.
owns
Everything.
everything.
Disney is
Disney
a
is
monopoly.
like,
Exactly. Last one. This one might be a stretch, but it's a little bonkers to me. I took a picture of it so I could pull it up. I'll just hold it up to the camera. I'll show you guys first. This one might be a stretch, and it could be a coincidence. But in a way, I truly think that in 1997, The Simpsons predicted 9/11. It's a stretch, but it's way too coincidental. In a 1997 episode, Lisa is showing Bart this magazine. And on the magazine, I'm going to explain it first and show chat and show you guys. It's a picture of, the title says New York. And then it says the number 9 with a $sign. And then right next to the 9 is the two Twin Towers to make out 9/11. It's a stretch. That might be a little bonkers of a conspiracy theorist. I'm going to show you guys right now, and I'll hold my phone up to chat. Right there. I mean, and that's it. That's all that's on the cover. That's all they show.
I haven't seen this one. I've seen one where it's the Twin Towers burning down. It also in Simpsons.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
I don't
See,
know
I
what
didn't know
the.
that.
I don't know.
I wonder if that was pre or post though.
Yeah, I think it. Oh.
You see that? So I'm gonna hold that up for chat to see.
Yeah, I mean this one might be a stretch.
It might be a stretch. I'll hold it up for chat.
Because I mean, we think of New York, right? Like back then, like what is the image of New York? It's like the Twin Towers.
Yeah.
So like to show New York is like either the Twin Towers or the Statue of Liberty.
And, I mean, another thing I've been learning since my internship dude was in the DIA area, he was saying that, like, 9/11 wasn't even, like, they knew something was going to happen, and they've been trying to do something of that caliber for years.
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
like they had, there's, like, two other bombs in the garage next to it, like,
Yeah.
that happened 2 months earlier or something crazy. Like,
There's the Oklahoma
they,
bombing.
yeah, they knew they
Oklahoma
were
City.
trying things.
I actually visited that
Or they were
that
trying things.
location, Oklahoma City bombing.
So that wraps up the Simpsons conspiracy theory. That one, when I started looking, I went further and further and further. I was like,
No, it's definitely wild. But
It
I
is
think
cool.
the craziest one is by far the Trump up the escalator. That when I first saw that, I was like, "There's no shot."
Yeah.
that one and the God particle, because
I mean,
that's
the
like,
part of it
That's
too, that
cool.
one's insane
that
too.
one, because that takes the smartest people in the world to figure that out. And I'm talking in reality, not a TV show.
Yeah.
That's why it's bonkers. But a couple people in chat were mentioning earlier, I've talked about this. I have my opinions on it. I haven't done thorough research recently to make a strong argument other than a few points. But multiple people have said that the moon landing was staged.
No shot.
So the moon landing is in what year? Was it
I have no idea.
70s or 60s? 60s. 60s? We're showing how young we are by not knowing.
I guess. I mean,
Shot.
Your dad or your mom's whoa, easy. But so
Early on.
my main argument, I'm going to tell you right now, I have a 2 or 3 arguments against why I agree that it was staged.
okay. I think we've talked about this.
Probably.
Yeah, he's definitely.
I remember this
Passionate
at
moon
Boulevard.
guy.
I remember talking about this.
Yeah. So number 1, the moon rover, right? The car they brought up there to drive on the moon. It had an internal combustion engine, right? That's the big name to use. Basically, the engine that you got in your car today, if you don't own a Prius or a Tesla, it's a car that the engine that you have in your car, right? The way a motor works, more or less, is
Oxygen.
it it makes mini explosions, of little mini fire explosions within the motor. And in order to make fire and explosions, you need oxygen. Now, tell me how that car could drive and run around all over the moon's surface with an internal combustion engine where there's no oxygen, where a motor needs oxygen. They had an oxygen tank on it?
I was
No
about to
shot.
say
Do you think they're just
supply
going to
oxygen.
feed
Why not?
oxygen to it?
How did the
Yeah.
astronauts walk around the moon with supply
They had supplies
oxygen?
of oxygen.
I think it could have easily been supplied oxygen to the engine.
Fair enough. That's the weakest argument.
Okay.
My next one.
I've heard that one. Yes, you've told me that
My
one.
dad said I was joking about the moon landing unless you saw a Simpson episode that could change my mind.
I watched lots of videos about NASA and how they're wearing wires.
Wearing wires.
I haven't done like heavy research and argument points into this since like high school. I was heavily into this in high school. I used to talk about it all the time.
I remember.
I haven't talked about it since. So my next one is the the famous picture of them putting the flag into the moon's surface. The flag has waves and ripples into it. There's no wind on moon. Why does it look like there's wind going through it? And then Justin, and you too, Justin goes, oh, because they went like this. Okay, why wouldn't it be straight up and down, right? You would think it'd be kind of like it would be dangling upwards, right? Because there's no gravity.
It's just
Right.
standing up.
Right, but with motion, with the inertia of it putting down, it's going to then go up and kind of stay there, right? And then you think the next argument is, oh, then they straightened it out. Okay, so you tell me they straightened it, put little waves into it, and then... no shot! No! No shot!
I need that picture.
Listen, as somebody that works for a much smaller government organization of the city of Palo Alto, our number one thing is making sure we look good for the residents and we have a good image.
Media, yeah.
So I'm very certain that the single-handed biggest thing to ever happen,
During its time.
people landing on the moon.
Yeah.
I'm sure they were like, hey, let's make this look as best as we can.
Yes.
I'm sure there was.
sure
I don't think they just
they
sat the
probably-
flag in the ground and like, let's have a quick shot. Like, they definitely put some time and effort into getting that flag down.
Here's my question.
pulling it up on
Here's my question to you, Tyler. So you've seen that it could.
Look at that.
I know you've seen that. Have you looked up reasoning as to why, like as to our reasoning? Have you looked up the opposite side of your theory?
Yeah. Have you looked up? Yeah. Any?
My opinion only. I'm right.
Yeah.
So,
Also, how is the flag stored? Right. It could be a little crumpled up because the way it was tucked.
Well,
If it was
yeah.
neatly folded in a bag, it's still gonna get some crumples.
I don't know if this is true or not, but Ash just said that in Hebrew, NASA means to deceive. Don't know how true that is. Could be a quiz. I don't know.
NASA.
I don't know.
NASA.
I don't know Hebrew, so I can't make an
know
argument with or
Hebrew
with
either.
against that. But all I'm saying is that's my main 2 points I have arguing against it being fake.
Why fake it?
I have heard there is actually, I just remembered, there is a specific picture where you swear to God you see a studio light hanging down.
Don't even get me started on flat
I
Earth.
was gonna say, you're losing me. You're
Shot.
losing
You
me.
think the Earth's flat?
So, Ash, that's where I have to disagree with you. The
I'm not
Earth
even
is
gonna talk
far
about
from
that.
flat.
Show me the waterfalls.
Yeah.
Show me the squares, the corners of the Earth.
I don't think the Earth is
You
flat.
think that this Earth is how many, 3 million years old, right? And people have been around with technology to take pictures for a while now, right?
Man.
You could fly around the Earth. You don't think anyone's thought to say, "Oh, flat Earth. Let's take a picture of the corners," right? There'd be so much proof to prove the Earth is flat by now.
So, but this guy's think about this, guys. Sorry, do you have something you want to say?
Well, I was just gonna say, no, it's so
You're
broad.
so not talking to your mic. You're like this right now.
I
You're
was
talking
just
over
sorry,
it.
guys. I was just gonna say that the
She's probably started
freaking universe just blows
Oh,
my
yeah.
mind.
I
Like,
love space.
There's
I
that,
love
there's
it.
that one video that you're gonna know exactly what I'm talking about. I've seen it on Twitter, but I've seen it on YouTube too. It starts out with Earth, then it zooms out to like
Oh, the size
Mars.
relation, right?
Oh,
yeah,
I
yeah,
watched
yeah,
it
yeah.
in
then
a
it zooms out to
museum.
the sun,
It
and then it
makes me
zooms
feel
out.
so small, and I get
Yeah.
scared, and I literally makes me cry. Like, don't judge me.
But
It literally makes me
there's
cry
like
thinking
there's
about
like
it.
those stars that are literally like
500
8
times the size of
trillion
us.
times the size of Earth. or
That's
something
why.
crazy.
That's why I don't believe anyone. Excuse me. Anyone that tries to tell me that there's no life past Earth.
Oh, dude, aliens
Oh.
are 100% the most.
That's
real
why.
Earth.
thing.
So
Life
hang
past
on.
Earth.
We mentioned him in our last episode. Elon Musk being the smartest guy in the world. Blah blah.
Yeah.
By the way, I have a whole new opinion on him after listening to that full Joe Rogan episode. I only
I love
only
Elon
watched
Great,
it.
Musk.
Maddie.
I have a whole new change of opinion. Point is, he doesn't believe in aliens. He says like he goes until they show face, not real.
Okay, and
That's
an
basically what
alien's
he
not
said.
Some
Well, I mean,
green ghoul.
there's the argument of like seeing is believing.
You know what? I think he's an alien. That's why he's saying that. He's an alien. How is he so smart figuring all this out, doing all this shit? He's
You know,
an
it's funny,
alien.
last episode
You
he
said to
said-
yourself, oh, they're
last
not some
episode
green
he said he
ghouls,
wasn't
you know?
smart.
Because, yes, Elon Musk walked.
He's
Yeah,
a green
Tesla.
ghoul.
Aliens are 100% real. You can't
Yes.
change my
You
mind.
can't.
Now,
They don't look like people.
Is there
They could be an
yeah.
ant. They
And
could
also,
literally be
yeah,
an ant.
the American themed of aliens that you see in the movies, maybe they don't look like that. Maybe they look
Right,
nothing like
right.
that. I think aliens are so real. Maybe they're not in our solar system, but they're definitely out there.
Oh, they're out there.
And who knows? Maybe they aren't nearly as advanced. Maybe they're still in the caveman era, or maybe they're millions of years ahead.
No, they're
of
beyond
and
us.
Well, you don't know that, right?
I-
It could be because we're pretty advanced.
Well, we're a small science project. Little Dicky said it best himself.
Yeah, I mean, it could be. It could go both ways though, because we are pretty advanced. They could be caveman era, or maybe there's both. Maybe there's both spectrums. Dumb aliens and then freaking.
I think what's
smart
cool is
aliens.
Elon Musk said in the episode with Joe Rogan, he said it's more or less his job at this point, his role in life, his meaning in life is to relocate humanity to Mars. He
yeah.
says that
Or at least do, like,
he
a
said,
split.
which is true, and I've talked about this. This is what scares me. I think it's beyond our lifetime, meaning us three sitting here. But Earth is a ticking time bomb.
Oh, yeah.
The way we're treating it,
It used
we're
to scare me as a kid too, like well, not Earth itself
Sure.
being a ticking time bomb, but like the sun exploding and us not having the sun. That scared me so much as a kid, and I'm sorry, Ash, but the Bible. I don't want to offend anyone here. It's fake. It doesn't. It's nothing.
we won't get into religion.
I
That
know.
I think that's a
I know.
little
Well, she
past
was-
what we'll talk about
I
here.
agree, but
I'm
she
not.
just was saying that aliens are demons, and the Bible explains all of it.
Sure.
Just.
I think.
And
I think aliens are bros unless they probe. Don't get probed.
What?
That was dumb. We won't. I'm gonna say I'm open for all types of conversation. We won't get into religion because that
Okay.
gets super like
All right.
Hey, my dad.
controversial.
My dad said the vehicle on the moon was powered by batteries, dude.
Or did they changed?
No shot. It literally has a motor on it. It literally is an
But
internal.
is that just to look like a motor?
Why would they do that? Extra weight.
Ford sponsored by Ford.
We got a sponsorship from Ford, so we popped the 351 in it.
We got the big fuck up there on the moon. Come on.
That's funny. That's interesting. I mean, hey, if he did his research, like I said, I haven't done my research in a long time,
Yeah.
so who knows? I mean, I could be
Yeah.
dead wrong. It's just something I love to argue about.
Also, small little tangent about Mars.
Oh.
Didn't Amanda's boyfriend wasn't he part of the team that created the rover to go to Mars? He works for NASA.
I'm saying BS.
Yeah.
No
I-
way. Was it?
I don't know. I
That's what
can't.
I was talking to Amanda a little
Oh,
bit.
I don't know.
He had some sort of part of something to do with something going to Mars, I believe.
That's pretty
Batteries,
cool if
power
he
motors.
was. I mean, that's pretty sick. I don't know. I haven't talked to her about it. Batteries, power motors.
Your dad's not letting go of this. He goes, Tyler, you're a dumbass.
And then before we end, I have one would you rather question that
Oh
I
my
thought was
God,
kind of
this
interesting.
guy.
And I was thinking about it, right? Would you rather be able have the ability to fly for as long as you could hold your breath, or be able
That's not very long.
or be able to swim underwater for as long as you want?
Swim underwater.
Swim underwater for as long as what? What? That's stupid. Yeah, of course, swim.
But you have the same.
I could explore
like-
the entire
No.
ocean,
So let me-
Shane.
your body's nothing changes except for your ability. To
So you
hold your
can
breath
only go so
indefinitely.
deep.
So your compression, you can only go 100 and whatever.
Hey, you're
feet.
gonna pop.
You're gonna pop before
Or
you
you'd
get to anywhere
squish.
cool.
Actually, you'd squish.
I'll
Wouldn't you
get-
Yeah,
squish?
you implode.
No, you don't implode. You
I'll
literally
go
collapse.
super
Going up too
slow.
fast, you implode.
I'll go super slow.
Going down or
No.
going up? Going down, you get squished like a can.
I mean, if you train.
No,
your-
imploding is blowing up from the inside out,
Wait.
right?
No.
Implode is like when you-
Exploding is. Insides are out. Your insides are really out.
I thought implode was.
Imploding.
Imploding is
Exploding.
Imploding is turning nothing. Inhale, exhale. You're inhaling oxygen. You're exhaling. Carbon.
Yes, JDling11, you can train. I'll
Easy,
be like
of
Goku
course.
on his shit. I'll be like Goku training with.
Yeah.
100 times gravity.
I think flying would be cool.
Okay, yeah, but
How
you can-
about? Hang on. Wait, I mean,
4 seconds. Like, that's it. That's all I got.
4 seconds.
She literally just.
I mean, you can
4
train.
seconds. That's all I got. That's all I tried.
Okay, but
What
you
am I
can-
gonna get?
you
10
can-
feet?
You can train your lungs.
How fast? Wait. How fast can you fly up and
Ooh.
around?
Can I fly
I think,
infinite
Like
speeds?
a F-150 jet? Is that jet? I don't know. That might be a truck.
Like a
G6.
like a Blue Angel.
Fly like a G6.
Um,
Who sung that song? Is that Black Eyed Peas?
Some random,
like
no,
a
some
G6.
random chick.
One hit wonders.
Yeah, one hit wonder.
Fly like a G6. Who was that?
I think like Superman, right? Like Superman flying.
Wait,
Huh?
what?
Like
Speed?
Speed wise.
Yeah.
Oh.
So yeah, he's as
that's
fast
fast.
as a
He's
jet.
pretty fast. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, yeah.
But am I gonna land safely, or the second I'm done
No, no,
holding
no,
my breath,
you're
I
in
just
control.
like down?
You know, okay, just like when
That's
you're holding
the
your
real
breath
question.
underwater, you know when you're about to run out, so you come up to the surface. You just time
Okay.
your landing down.
You know,
Interesting. That's an
I
interesting
might-
take.
So, and you can train your lungs like surfers.
I might
they
air
can
it.
train their lungs to hold for like 3
Far
minutes.
East Movement, by the way, who sings "Fly
Nice.
Like a G6." One hit
Far East
wonders. I didn't even recognize the name.
Whoever knows that.
I remember that song being a hit in middle school or freshman
Yeah.
year or something like
So
that.
I think.
Sorry.
you
Anyways,
could, and if you have this ability to fly, I would be a lot more enticed to train my lungs to breathe longer.
I
to hold
guess.
my breath longer, right? Like I have no interest. I'm not a big surfer, so I have no interest in like training my lungs. I'm not gonna go surf Mavericks and like.
But
meet
don't
you know
you
there's
wanna
people that
discover
train to be free, like the way
Free
there's free climbers.
Yeah, it's
there's
free
free divers who no tank, no lines.
That's how Jay died in the Mavericks, chasing Mavericks.
Bro.
He was
Wait,
free
free
diving.
diving.
Free diving.
You
is
you
no
have
tank,
you
no
hold your
nothing.
breath.
So
You
that's
hold
not
your
even.
All there is a line that goes straight down, so you could use it to track how deep you are,
Yeah.
and then you have it to help you go up. But the thing is
They go
about
deep though. They go like 100 feet deep. Like,
oh yeah, there's
On
world
one
records.
breath?
Like 4
Yes.
minutes.
It's scary. Like I get sweaty palms thinking about it because I think
Why
I'm
do they do that?
not scared
It's
of
fun. I mean, it's just a thing they're into. And
I-
and so like another reason, abalone. Abalone is like a food, a clam shell, whatever you can get underwater. You can only hunt it free diving. You're not allowed to use snorkel gear for it because it's super rare. It's like if you ever go to a restaurant, abalone, it's more expensive than like a super nice steak. Like it's very rare.
Kelso, can you
Okay.
fact
So the
check
only
that?
way you
I'm
can do it
actually
is free
curious.
diving. So like that's one of the things for free diving is that, but also people they free dive caves and stuff, and like it's just why do people scuba dive? It's the same.
So
thing.
here's
But
my
there's some safety to it.
no, I mean, so that's what I was starting to get to. Yes, there is. Yeah, they have other people with tanks on to be there to get them up if
Some
they
people do
pass
that,
out.
yeah.
But here's the thing. Here's the thing about free diving is that they go deep, and I'm talking deep.
Kelsey
And-
just said the record is like 200 feet.
I told him to fact check it. I told him fact check. I'm curious. It sounds about right. I'm not surprised. But here's the thing about the water and shit, and we mentioned earlier is that yeah, they have that line to help them go down to see how deep they're going because they're not just swimming the whole time. They're using the line to help them pull themselves down.
Yeah.
And so like, okay, I'm starting to run out of breath. I want to go up. The thing is, they are going so deep they can't just grab the line and start pulling themselves up
They'll get the
because you'll get
bends.
the bends
Yeah.
where you literally again implode or whatever it is.
You get super sick to the point you're gonna die like
Right.
within 24 hours. Like you're
'Cause your
The
body is
oxygen
changing
levels,
too
yeah.
Inside,
much.
yeah, like your lungs and everything. Like I don't know if they implode or what, but your insides get so damaged that you're
Point
basically
is-
good as dead.
You will die.
Yeah.
So that's what's bizarre to me is like, because I know that feeling. I'm not. I'll start by saying this. I'm not scared of much. I'm scared of rats and mice, and I'm scared of the ocean. And then my biggest fear is
That ocean's
drowning.
Terrifying.
Yeah.
I'm scared of drowning more than anything. I'd say as far as dying
Drowning would
goes.
suck for sure. Like catching on fire too would suck.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Point is though, I'm thinking about that feeling of when like, okay, I need to go up for air. Like I'll be in a pool maybe, for example,
Shit.
and I don't
I
realize how
can't.
deep I am,
Kelso-
and I'm like, oh wait, I'm running out of air. I need to get down.
Kelso fact checked. 702 feet is
That's
the world
insane.
record.
And by what?
Wait, so how would you
No
even
women
do that?
free dive.
What are you not breathing? You're exerting so much energy to swim.
Well, no, because that's what the line's for.
So
They
the
train
line,
for it.
But also like
Talking to the mic, you're talking on the side of it.
they'll
you can move this.
They'll hold a big weight or like a big rock. They'll hold a big rock and the
Oh,
rock
so
will
they
drag
fall.
them down.
No,
Okay.
they have a line. They don't even have that. It's a line that's a weight that goes straight down.
They do
Dummy
both.
far.
There's
Oh, they hang
there's-
on to it.
But no, it doesn't pull them down. The point is, they dive in, letting their momentum take them. At that point, what they're doing is they're trying. You're right. They're trying to use the most minimal amount of energy
that's why
possible.
They wear the flippers. They barely even kick their legs.
Yeah, it's literally like the slowest of motion. I've seen it because I get anxiety watching these documentaries. I get sweaty palms. Like, oh my god.
There's a good Joe Rogan episode with a free diver who
Like a free
almost
diver.
Justin
died.
showed that to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
He
I want
almost
to
died.
re-listen
He,
to it
yeah,
after.
It's crazy. And then again, what I was starting to mention is they get so deep and they have to, and it's to the point where they're on the edge of consciousness because that's how little oxygen in their
Yeah, they come
brain.
in and out on their way up. Yeah.
Exactly, because they're going so deep.
Die.
Right. They most of the time they come up to the surface half conscious.
Yeah.
Because they have so little oxygen. So and they have to, because again that feeling is like, okay, I need oxygen. I need to get to the surface. They can't go fast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They have to go slow. So they literally have to plan it out to such a thorough extent,
Yeah.
and then still they're half conscious underwater and still think, okay, now it's time to start going
Yeah.
up.
It's,
Nice and
I mean,
slow.
obviously they're professionals, right? They've trained for this and they've gone through it all, and
I don't even think
they
it matters.
they have a good
Any freak
idea of like
accident.
they know like, okay, I can hold my breath for 4 minutes. I know.
How do you
probably,
like-
Imagine
Bizarre.
holding breath for
Yeah,
4 minutes.
it's insane for
I
sure.
can hold it for probably
Yeah,
but I
25
get it.
seconds.
Justin talking about Cerrone, the cowboy, UFC fighter. He did some
Oh.
free diving. That guy does
Wasn't
everything.
Yeah, that was
Yeah, I
on
think it was
Joe Rogan's-
Cerrone. It
yeah.
was Cerrone.
No, he was on.
Yeah.
Cerrone is a man of everything. He was probably arguably one of the best
I like him.
guests to have on because he does everything. He's a UFC fighter. He's a wakeboarder, damn near like pro wakeboarder. He's really good.
Yeah.
He's a free diver. He's a free climber. He does everything, and
Yeah.
to a thorough extent where he's good
Right.
at
it's
everything
not
he
just
does.
like
I
a dabble
like
in
what,
this, a dabble in
no.
that.
What Bladed Green Tea said, just living is asking to die. If you really think about it, like life's a risk. Like I fully get why they do it. Like,
Yeah.
For me, like a lot of people, it's like I race dirt bikes. It's very dangerous. I know.
Sure.
I have multiple friends of mine that have died from racing dirt bikes.
Yeah.
Like definitely, it's a risk I take every time I go out there. Obviously, you guys know I've had some gnarly injuries doing
Yeah.
Oh my
it.
gosh.
I always go back. The second when I
Yeah.
get an injury, I'm on the surgery table. I'm asking the doctor, when can I ride? I got to race in 3 weeks. Like, I'm always itching to get back into it. Like, I just
Her ex died on a bike. That's crazy.
hers it.
Ash. No, sorry,
Ash.
not Emmy.
You pointed that way. Yeah.
No, that's
See,
what-
your ex died on a bike. I have good family friends that died on the
No,
bike.
it's
Like, it's the same thing. Like,
adrenaline.
I take that risk. I like that adrenaline. I'm gonna go back.
Sure.
I genuinely don't think there's anything that'll make me stop riding. Like,
Sure. It's crazy, yeah. So,
So
it's
like,
just.
it's
I
the
wish I
same
had
thing for them. Like
felt
that's
that
their
way about
adrenaline.
something.
That's their adrenaline. Like they love doing that.
I don't know. It's everyone's different. I think it comes down to like risk management. People choose their risk.
Risk
You know.
management.
There's definitely people that choose to take zero risk.
Sure. Yeah.
in life.
It's,
and some-
yeah.
And I take more.
So
risk
similar
than
to the
normal.
free diving, it makes me think of free climbers. There's free climbers out there too who will literally scale in
That's pretty
freaking
cool.
mountain.
The free climbers, I have so much respect for.
I don't know why that's
Zero
cooler
lines.
to me than the diving. Well, it's not. It's
Because-
probably just as dangerous. Yet I don't think it is.
I feel like okay, so diving is a slow death, right? Like if you're gonna drown, it's a slow death, right?
If you
It's-
fall.
It gets, but see, it comes to the point where you're out of oxygen, you just black out, you pass out,
Yeah.
and you die.
Yeah.
So it's
It's not like they have
falling
water
is
in
you
their
could
lungs.
fall and be alive, and now you're in a canyon, crippled, broken 17.
But these
legs
guys
and
are
bleeding
scaling
out.
some gnarly
No, I
mountains.
know that's what I'm saying. Like sometimes
you,
there's falls
Maddie.
they'll just die. Like those falls, there's no way they're gonna survive that.
Right.
But sometimes there's falls well they can survive, but then bleed out if they have no help or whatever. The free climbing is insane to me. It's crazy.
I was listening to the Pat McAfee show, or McAfee show. I was talking to, if Mike's in here, I doubt he is, probably working still. Anyways, he interviewed, he's a football show, NFL show, but he invited on a free climber. It was interesting to hear this guy's stories, where he was a free climber, held a whole bunch of records. By the way, fun fact, free climbing's in the Olympics now, in case you guys are wondering.
No way.
It's in the,
That's
it's,
Why don't they
it's in
put
the
it on TV?
Olympics.
I don't know.
Speed length?
Okay.
As of
Oh,
no,
it's
as of like
Olympics.
literally months ago, they added it. It's brand new. Anyways, this guy though. So why you're talking about if you're alone and stuff? He's retired. Guy's 26 years old, 27 years old, retired from free climbing. But he
Retired
has
at
like
26?
he has a world record stuff like that. He climbed half dome and stuff. Point is why I bring it up because Pat McAfee asked him like, oh, so what do you do now? Like, you just done, you don't climb? He goes, no. He goes, I live in my van and I travel around the country and I just go climb here and there. And he goes, by yourself? He goes, yeah. He goes, what if you fall? It's a good run. That's like what he said. Like,
Jesus.
it's just crazy. It's like,
Yeah.
because there's no ropes, nothing. He says that when he said he is in training and competing, he said, yeah, they would go and they'd practice. and they start at the top of the mountain, scale down, and then with ropes, you know, practice up, trying to find a good route. But when it's like the real deal, there's nothing attached to them. No safety precautions. None.
I mean,
Nothing than maybe a rock that's less hard than the other.
yeah.
Yeah, no, it's insane.
It's crazy what adrenaline can do for you too.
Oh, hey,
I've like
adrenaline is crazy.
I've seen
I've
like science
personally
class.
experienced adrenaline.
Yeah, and it talks about like, you know, a woman like my size, like someone so small can lift up like a rock that weighs a ton because it's crushing her leg. Like you can do such crazy
Oh, with
things.
adrenaline?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
Oh, the
I've
body's
experienced adrenaline like just like racing dirt bikes, right? Like we call it race speed. Like we could practice as much as we want. I could try to ride as fast as I want when I'm practicing, but I can never be as fast as I am when I'm racing. Like when I'm racing, there's just like this extra adrenaline in me, like that pushes me harder. And it's like if I crash or get in a situation, I can like lift my bike up this cliff where it's like if I wasn't racing, I'm like I need help, right?
Yeah.
And then there's also this one time I was hiking, and kind of going around, and it was just like I was like on my hands and knees, like hiking up like a cliff thing. I don't know. I was pretty young, and there was a snake. I was face to face with a snake. I like leaped up a ledge that was like I swear like at least 6 feet tall.
Yeah.
And like looking back at it, dude, there's no shot I could do that in my best condition.
Right.
Like
You're like 10.
What kind of snake was it?
I think it was just a garter snake, but coming face to face,
He
like
was terrified.
she not face to face.
Were you
Like
in
the
it?
mic is the snake. I'm crawling up, and I'm like, oh. And
A little gardener snake scared you. Come on.
You're scared of rats.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No problem.
Rats are harmless.
A gardener snake is harmless.
You're both pussies.
No, I'm actually not scared of snakes. My dad was on a mountain bike
Don't
ride with
even
me.
get me started. Don't you cry when you don't see your weens for like an hour?
That's so okay. It's not an hour, and that's so different. That's
It's
a
like
loving
an hour and a half.
relationship. That's like, it's different.
Snakes 60 times scarier than rats. I agree, but I'm not really scared of snakes. Like I was on a mountain bike ride with my dad and Alex Wagner the other day. There was a rattlesnake on the trail. I was like trying to pick it up with a stick.
Snakes never
My
scare
dad
me.
wouldn't let me.
A lot of people are scared of snakes. I don't know why they don't scare
like
me.
them, but
I'm
I'm not
scared of
scared
being
of
in a
them.
situation where I don't know the snake is there and the snake has
Sure, like
leverage on me.
anything,
But if
yeah.
I know a snake's there, I'm gonna mess with the snake. I'm gonna poke
Yeah.
it with a stick and try to
They
pick it
never
up.
bothered me.
Fun
Like,
fact: my mom has like 27 snakes.
yeah, that's
She
weird.
loves them.
Yeah, snakes are cool.
Same like Kelso. I think Kelso's still in there. Him and his dad at one time. Not 27, but what'd you have, Kelso? Maybe 4 snakes,
Yeah, they
5
had a couple
snakes,
families.
one massive ball python. Got a king cobra, California king cobra, something like that. I
So
don't know.
what animal are you most?
Oh, king
scared of?
snake, not king cobra. Sorry.
I never thought of that.
I mean, Tyler's scared of rats. Which is just such a.
You have a
irrational fear.
phobia. There's no
Of an
shot you don't
animal?
have a phobia. No, a phobia.
Oh no, well, he was
Well,
asking what
the-
animal I'm most scared of.
Oh,
I don't.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
honestly don't know.
do you have a phobia?
I don't think I'm like.
Well,
I don't think I'm scared of any animals.
I don't think I'm really scared. Like, obviously, I know if I'm fucked.
Yeah, like I'm not scared of lions, but if I was one-on-one with a lion, I'm
Right.
shitting my
Yeah,
pants.
exactly.
Like it depends on the situation, but there's no animal I'm like terrified to meet.
Your mom's scared of birds.
My mom hates birds.
I like
Birds
birds.
are
She hates birds.
interesting.
It took a little bit of warming up for her to touch a chicken.
That's funny.
Dude, like she hates birds. I don't
Shane,
really
Shane
care.
has like 4 or 5 chickens. Did you bring my eggs?
I have 4 chickens. Oh, I didn't.
Yikes.
Yikes.
I want a discount. Those aren't fresh anymore.
Oh, I want fresh
They're
eggs.
fresh daily. Dude. I get 4 eggs a day.
Yeah.
I will give
If
me.
anyone wants to buy eggs, $6 a dozen. They get blue eggs,
Do
green
you
eggs,
ship?
and brown eggs
Do you ship to the UK?
for a $500 shipping fee.
14.
What?
Ash
Well,
has
Ash
couple
lives on a
chickens.
farm, I think. Ash lives on like darn near a
That's
farm,
cool.
I'm pretty sure.
Chickens. I would love to have more chickens, but
I
our,
used to have
our
chickens.
county limit is 6.
And then my
But these are
mom
my
was
first
still-
time getting chickens, so I just got 4 to start with. I wish I got 6. They're not that big of a deal, but yeah, I got 4 chickens. It's great.
You
One
know-
day I'll have more.
I had a mistake. One time we got a duck, and that was a big mistake.
Ducks suck.
They're
They're
so
so
loud.
loud, yeah.
Oh my god.
Ducks are
they're
kinda
good-
dope. I
they're
like
good
ducks.
if you live on a
They're
ranch
cool.
because they're protective over the chickens. Like if a hawk or something would
Really?
come, that's what people get ducks for.
My
over
mom
Really?
was
chickens.
so worried about
I would
ducks.
100% get a pet duck if it's
Ducks are
potty
sick.
trained. Can you train them? Are they smart?
I think they just
I'm
kind of
sure
hang
you
out.
could.
I would get a pet duck before a
TikTok
dog
guy
if
that
it.
has the pet ducks.
I would get a pet duck before a dog if I could potty train it.
No shot.
Fuck
No
up.
I would.
Shot.
I
I'm
would.
getting a
That's
dog.
ridiculous.
I like
wanna get my own
ducks.
dog. I can't-
I
Oh my
really
gosh.
like ducks. According to Roger Goodell, NFL commissioner, NFL stadiums, he intends for every single one to be full by next season.
I'm in.
Full
Why
full
not?
capacity.
Vaccines are coming out.
Maybe. We'll see.
Race
God,
on
I think
one
we
That's
down.
beat
a
it.
bold statement.
Hey, Roger Goodell's basically the president. We beat the pandemic.
I'm down. Whatever.
That's a bold statement.
COVID, let's go.
Yeah.
Let's go.
When does the season start?
NFL?
August?
Yeah.
I think preseason's August, and then September season starts. Or no, sorry. No. That's high school. Preseason starts in September. Season starts in mid-September into late
All
September.
right. Well, I mean, Biden said we should be good to go by July 4th. So
Did you really?
How long have we been in this? Is it like, what, 13 months? Something like that?
Yeah.
Where were
14
we?
now. In April. It's,
Holy
it
cow.
was like early March.
yeah.
We're in deep.
Cause I know because
We're getting
I
started
went
on 14.
I went to a race on March 15th last year, and on my way home from Reno, I was in Nevada racing, and I'm like my mom calls me, or Dustin calls me. He's like, bro, work shut down. The world's shut down.
You know
like,
what's
There
sad?
was all these rumors. Like, we had no service. We're in the middle of the desert racing dirt bikes for the weekend. All these rumors, like the National Guards have tanks on the streets, like keeping people in their homes and like all this crazy
Jesus
stuff. And we were like,
Christ.
we're not coming home. There's a war
It-
happening right now.
It made me think of what's that movie with Will Smith? The zombie movie. It's on the tip of my tongue. I Am Legend.
I'm Legend.
I'm Legend. Yeah,
Made me think of I Am
That's not
Legend.
what I
The
am.
start of the movie,
No, that's
you know?
how it- that's
That's
what
how
I
it
was
felt.
picturing.
Yeah.
I was like, dude, there's no shot I'm going home right now.
Yeah, you're living on the road, buddy.
Tanks are shooting people. Like, that's what I'm like
Yeah.
hearing. I'm like, dude, I'm out.
Yeah.
That's funny.
I don't know.
Yeah. But anyways, wrapping her up. I think it was a good episode.
So first, Ash said Simpsons didn't predict that one regarding the pandemic.
Exactly.
True, but they predict a lot. They gotta lay low, Ash. They can't predict everything. Matt Groening, look it up. He's just.
Herd immunity? What?
What's herd immunity?
It's when this was Trump's idea.
Are we a herd? Is that what they're referring
It was
to?
Trump's
We're
idea
a
that
pack of
instead
cows.
of having a whatchamacallit, a vaccine, everybody would get COVID. So we're herd immunity because everybody has it.
I'm down.
Does that make sense? That was his idea.
Yeah, it makes sense. I don't agree with it.
Yeah.
That's what the thought.
So is
process
that what the
Survival of the
NFL's
fittest, baby.
saying?
Come
She
on.
said that's what the NFL's saying.
I mean, maybe. I honestly, Miriam, I'm gonna be honest. I was being somewhat sarcastic. I hope it's true, but Roger Goodell might be going on a stretch saying that. But he's also a man of a lot of power. Wouldn't be surprised that because it's known the NFL is well tied into the government. You know, the president likes the NFL. NFL likes the president. No, not conspiracy theory. I'm not saying they're throwing games, nothing like that. But it's known. And honestly, for them, but hang on. But in all seriousness. I don't think that Roger Goodell would go out and say that unless that he's hearing things from Biden, you know, saying like, okay,
Yeah.
you know,
Well,
by
they
this
definitely-
date,
with that much power, there comes knowledge. I'm sure they have.
exactly, he would be a dumbass, which the guy may or may not be.
I see
meaning
what you're
Roger
saying.
Goodell. May, you know, he'd be a dumbass to just say, yeah, we're gonna have packed stadiums by next season. If that wasn't true, he'd be
Yeah.
dumb. I don't think I have a hard time believing he'd just say that to say that. With that being said, I've had a blast. I don't see any further questions coming. This is episode 3 coming to an end. Again, leave a comment down below on YouTube because this will be on YouTube. If you didn't get to catch the full episode or you know someone who didn't get to catch this full live episode, this will, again, be on Apple Podcasts, Spotify Podcasts, and YouTube with the video version as well, too, like you're seeing here. So, hey, be a friend and tell a friend,
Go
you know?
watch it. Watch it once. Watch it twice. Watch it 4 times.
And
tell
tell
your mom. Tell your aunt. Tell your aunt's lesbian sister. All right.
And tell your
That's your
coworker.
mom.
Yeah. But the more of the story, what Shane's trying to say is,
Tell everybody.
be a friend, tell a friend. We're stealing this from the Pat McAfee Show. Be a friend, tell a friend. And hey, if you didn't enjoy yourself, forget it happened.
Yeah.
Forget it happened. Move on, you know, and fuck off.
I would
So, I
also
mean-
like to say I enjoyed being here with you.
Come on,
two.
hey,
go
go
to
to
the
Maybe I'll come back one time. Who knows?
This is
Wink,
second
wink.
guest. You're the second guest all time.
We would love to have you back in the
We'd love to
future.
have you back.
That's great. Love to hear it.
Maybe when you're autopsying
Yeah,
some
let's
dead
get
bodies.
some
Gosh.
more murder
Stories.
cases
I
on
start my
episode.
career going. You know?
Exactly.
Yeah,
I'd
yeah.
love to hear it.
Yeah.
I'd love to hear about your wieners.
Maybe
sniffing out.
6 or 9 episodes.
What
from
do you
now.
think? Okay, hey, with that being said, I love you guys. Thank you so much for being here. And I will see you guys next time. Next 2 Wednesdays. 2
Bye.
Wednesdays.
Later,
Bye.
kids.
Bye, bye, bye.